Okay.
Hey, look, we were on mute. Sorry about that. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Pudding pops.
Anyways, so welcome to a horrible attempt at a broadcast. I had music, but you couldn't hear it, and now it's kind of past time for that. So, welcome to the snowed-in, never-ending limbo that is Louisiana.
Right.
All of our interstates are shut down. The schools are all closed. The clothes are all schooled.
Yeah,
One of the
that
two.
too.
And the chief of police at where?
Fire police chief.
The fire chief.
Fire chief. Yes.
Fire chief.
And your damn police chief. The fire chief of West Feliciana Parish, who was also a volunteer firefighter here in Zachary, was killed this morning responding to an accident because of the ice on the roads. Because, down south, we don't know how to drive in the snow and ice, just like northerners don't know how to survive over 80-degree temperature. We don't know how to survive in the snow and ice. And a car lost control while he was responding to another accident and hit him, and he was killed.
Yeah, people up north can't go out in 80-degree weather without their water bottles. And
Here we're
funny
still wearing hoodies in 80-degree weather. It's still kind of chilly for us.
Yeah, you walk around in a trench coat.
Right. We got our LSU and Saints hoodies on. That's springtime weather.
Right. The only time we stop sweating is when we crank the AC so we can sleep.
Yep. There was also a 5-car accident here in town this afternoon.
Yeah, 5-car wreck in the middle of a little small town of Zachary.
Don't know anything extra about that except that that was there. And as of 4-ish this afternoon, the police chief of Zachary has stated that our entire street is still iced over, so yeah. Talked to the neighbors who ventured out today.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it was hazardous as hell.
Yeah, around noon, we still had full snowpack. It wasn't until later this afternoon that the snow finally melted and we could see the grass again.
I think it hit like 34 today for like an hour.
Yeah, that's never... We've never had that. I mean, like, there's been snow, but then it promptly melts by, 11.
It was 14 degrees.
Next day.
14
Cold
degrees.
As fuck all day today.
Wind chill in the single digits. We've never had, I think they said, I don't know. It's been a really long time since we've been this cold, though. And two snows and one winter.
I was out there with the camera. My hands ain't got that cold as I was in South Dakota. I came in, my whole hand was red.
Right?
So we don't have gloves.
Right.
We don't own gloves. Like the things that keep your hands warm.
And
I got work gloves. I got gardening gloves. I don't have gloves.
And no, Joey, I will not buy a winter coat. It's counterproductive down here.
Yeah, let's go to toast now. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, sure, we'll watch tomorrow.
Yes, please.
I suppose I can
So, yes,
that.
New Orleans is cut off from the rest of the world due to the interstates being shut down. I-12, for anybody who's familiar with our interstates locally, I-12 is shut down from Baton Rouge, which is where it ends, or begins, depending on which way you're going, all the way almost to the Mississippi line. Lafayette to Kenner, on I-10, from Lafayette to Kenner, Louisiana, which is like a 3.5-hour drive, completely shut down. 110, from 10 to the end, completely shut down.
Nothing happened.
US 190, which was one of the major highways that is not interstate, was open today and completely filled with accidents all day long.
Yeah.
There was three 18-wheelers got into a wreck with a couple of cars. One person, about an hour or two after the wreck happened, somebody was still being cut out of their car.
You ain't gonna find snow chains,
Winter tires.
None of that around here in stores available.
Cat litter that is for the, your tires and not your cat litter box. See, we both have lived up north.
See, like, the state of Louisiana doesn't even have salt for the highways.
They use sand.
We're actually out there using sand. Fucking spillway dirt.
Sand that it snowed on top of. And then it's just...
That's one big industry we got down here. Most people don't realize we got dirt.
But that's the fucked up thing, because we have a lot of salt too. It's just not processed.
Well, our salt is in domes, and if we go after that salt, the domes will collapse, and we'll have earthquakes and shit.
And sinkholes.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Which bayou
yeah,
was
that,
it
that
a couple
one
years
fucking
ago?
that one that's because of a salt dome. And 20 years ago, they were debating on whether or not they should fuck with any of them, and turns out they fucked with them, and it was a bad idea.
Well, back in, like, what was it, the 70s?
We could just store some shit inside of the big old salt dome underground, really.
What was it, back in, like, the 80s, and underneath that one lake that was, like, in West Louisiana or something, where that whole tree just disappeared?
I don't remember.
What happened was they had a salt mine, and they dug underneath a lake where all this salt was, and somebody didn't drill properly, and the tunnel that they drilled underneath this lake collapsed, and the water and the salt, it just created this big, massive, just tidal thing.
Is your battery charged? Phone's gonna be dead all day.
Sucked in trees and everything. Just gone.
What the hell happened to the wire? Are you fucking serious? Give us a wire. We're fucking up. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, as many times as I have come out in the morning and found my phone in one spot and the wire in the other after leaving it plugged in at night.
We go and we buy one after the other fucking USB wires for our phones. Every goddamn one of them gets bent and fucked up. We find this, what was it, military strength, military grade or some bullshit, fucking supposed to be the toughest wire there is. Oh, it's broken too. It didn't even take any longer than it did for the rest of them.
Right.
I knew that was fucking full of shit. Anyways. So, apparently one old man, a wheelchair-bound man,
Yes,
who
84
did not
years
have
old.
heat in his house, and none of his neighbors went and checked on him or anything.
Oh, his wife too. But she's live hypothermia, 80 years old. But yeah, he passed away, and then they found the body of a homeless man downtown, off in some woods. Yeah. It's too cold. And, like, as funny as it is when you think about how, like, oh yeah, Southerners can't drive, and, we don't know how to react, and our whole state shuts down. Yeah, it's a little bit entertaining when you think about it, but then when you think about the repercussions of how really unprepared we are, and how many people lose their lives between, having to go to work and not knowing how to drive, and not having the proper tires and equipment, and the roads not being properly prepared. And the fact that we've got nothing but bridges around here because we're surrounded by water everywhere you go. And people's homes.
Yeah, well, wasn't that long ago people were dying up north because of fucking power shutdowns and bullshit.
Oh, and that's the thing too. Entergy is, thank goodness we don't have Entergy. We've got a better electrical company, but they're telling people from the hours of 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. tomorrow to minimize your electricity use, because otherwise they're going to be experiencing a lot of outages, and there were outages from all the ice on the power lines and stuff, because again, we're not prepared for shit like this. And then you got people who have space heaters that they usually use in the wintertime instead of central heating, because we just don't get cold enough for most people to use central heating. So some people strictly use space heaters, and when you're having to use space heaters to warm multiple rooms for an extended period of time, you're at risk for fires. And we've had a lot of fires happening in the last month from all the cold.
Right.
Because we're not prepared. Sorry, that bugs me.
Yeah. Well, 3,200 subscribers, one person watching.
Woo.
Yeah.
So,
Kiss my ass, this ain't worth my time. Peace.